Hello, hello. Today I'm going to be giving you a tour of my One Piece themed island. This is basically my first YouTube video. I suck at tech in general, so sorry in advance if there's any weird cuts or jumps in my footage or if the audio sucks. I really just wanted to share my stuff. Also, this island will contain spoilers for basically the entire anime of One Piece all the way through the Wano arc. So, you've been warned. So this is my entrance. Here, this is a log town and the execution of Gold Roger. You can see basically all the major characters, scattered in the crowd, because they were there that day. This is Gold Roger, obviously, himself up on the platform. If we go to the left, we come to Skypiea. I tried to make it look like it's on clouds in the sky. This is, the main village, the crew walk through. There's the dials as the shells on the left. And then that's Konis's dad getting struck by lightning. If you take the ladder up, you get to the upper yard. And this is where the ship got stranded up here on this little pyramid. And then up is a little more the giant snake that ate Luffy. And to the left, you have Eneru and his beanstalk and a poneglyph. And then the main attraction up here is Luffy ringing the bell at Shandor, the City of Gold. Going down to the beach. This is a reference to Whiskey Peak here, where Zoro took out a lot of those Baroque Works agents by himself. And over here in the Alabasta Kingdom, this is Crocodile's Casino, Rain Dinners. And this is the little oasis that Koza's dad tried unsuccessfully to get going. And then this right here is Alabasta Palace with Vivi and Karu at the front along with its poneglyph. Going back over to the right, we're gonna have the entire crew up to date and their little wanted posters. There wasn't one for Jimbei, sorry. And then if we go up the ladder, we get to the Thousand Sunny. There's a small detail here for every member of the crew. That's Franky's cola and orange trees for Nami. Chopper loves cotton candy. Zoro's workout equipment. Usopp's slingshot, of course. The tea set is for Robin. The helm is Jinbei's area of expertise. This crown's for Luffy since he's going to be king of the pirates. Sanji is, of course, cooking up those Sea Kings. And this is Brook's violin. So that's the Thousand Sunny. Going down to this part of the beach, we have Amazon Lily. So this is Boa and Luffy right here. And some of the Snake Amazon warriors. And then down here we have Boa Hancock using her Love fruit to turn all these people into stone. And if you keep going a little further to the right, you have the Snake Princess's palace. And if you go around inside, you see the bath where Boa doesn't want you to see her slave mark on her back. For my peninsula, I made Zoro's iconic Nothing Happened moment. Zoro's my favorite, by the way. And that leads us into Thriller Bark. That's supposed to be Or's skull on the right. And Perona's ghost on the left. Obviously, there's a lot of zombies on Thriller Bark. And here's Absalom trying to marry Nami. And next to Nami on the right is Lola. And then lastly back here is Gecko Moria with all of his shadows. Gonna change outfits really quick. This is my ace outfit. And we're gonna head into Marineford. Here's the log Luffy threw at the admirals. And down at the bottom here are Whitebeard's forces. And there's Ace there in the middle. And on the right here are the three admirals. And, I made it so you could actually get to the cannons up here. And you can fire back at Whitebeard if you want. And that's the same on both sides. And then there's Sabo, Ace, and Luffy's hats. There was some of their backstory in this arc. And then going out technically the front of Marineford. Oh, wait, really quick. Before that, here's my resident services. And I want to show you guys my bulletin board because I had some super talented people draw the members of the Straw Hat crew on my board. And they came out so good. Zoro's is the best. I'm partial, of course. But Luffy's an obvious second. And, okay, so now going out the entrance of Marineford and to the left, we come to Impel Down, split into its levels. Here's the Beast Creature level, and then in the middle we have Luffy fighting Magellan, and to the left we have the Freezing level with Mr. 3 and Buggy. And then this is the lowest level of the prison, where Doflamingo eventually ends up, and Crocodile, and then there's Jimbei and Ace talking. And then the burning level finally, gonna change outfits again. And this time we're Trafalgar Law. And we're gonna head out the back here to the Sabaody Archipelago. This over here is the little auction house where Luffy very satisfyingly punched that celestial dragon in the face to save Kami. And then for the rest of the archipelago, I made a bunch of like small islands, and on each I put a member of the worst generation, except for Urouge because I forgot about him, and Apu because I just can't stand him. So starting with the main one here in the middle, we have Luffy and Zoro. Oh, and all of them have little pacifistas, Kumas, chasing them around, obviously. Down here we have Law and Bepo. Of course, so cute, the closest I could find to a little polar bear. And then moving on to the next one to the right here, this is Basil Hawkins and his straw man, his giant straw man, and he, of course, uses cards to make his predictions. And then we have Jewelry Bonnie. Her powers, I forgot what they are, but I know she eats for them. She's always eating something, so I put some nice food there. And then here we have Kid and Killer. I design everything on here actually, and Kid's is probably my favorite outfit I designed. Over here we have X-Drake. Obviously he turns into a giant dinosaur, so I put the T-Rex there and the print. And then finally this is Gang Beji with his little people that go into his armory in his stomach. I just realized I have no idea what happened to that Kuma pacifista that was supposed to be on here, but whatever, I'll fix it eventually. Anyways, moving on. If we keep going to the right here, we come up to Water 7. This is obviously Franky's home. There he is in the middle, and I fully admit I completely borrowed this design from another creator. I'll be sure to link them and their stuff down below. If you keep going to the left and you follow the tracks, you eventually catch up to the sea train, and if you keep going, you can climb up into Annie's lobby. Here's the entrance, and if you go inside, you run into Rob Lucci. To the left there, that's supposed to be that bird that always sits on his shoulder. And then if we go down, and then to the right here, you can go into the Galilah shipping yard, where they're famous for being the best shipwrights in the world. We're going to go ahead and change outfits again into Luffy this time. And then we're going to head on up to the Ace and Whitebeard Memorial. I think this came out pretty good. Put lots of rare flowers here. I think it's a nice little photo spot, looking off over the side into the ocean. Side note, Luffy crying and screaming over Ace dying absolutely sent me for weeks after watching this. But this is a happy video, so we're going to move on from that. Okay, so coming back down here, I kind of had a little bit of dead space at the back, and I needed somewhere to put my vegetables and a couple of villager homes. So I ended up turning it into Luffy's hometown, which literally translates to Windmill Village. So I put lots of cute little windmills here. And then, of course, going with that, we have at the back here, Luffy meeting Shanks for the first time, and Shanks giving him the hat, and Luffy eating the gum gum fruit. That gum gum fruit I designed myself. Sorry, I know it sucks. But now heading up, we're actually going to go into my house, which I designed to look like the inside of the Thousand Sunny. I got references of how everything looked from Google. So starting with the dining room and kitchen, I kind of combined the two here. But you know, they have that aquarium room where they put the fish in when they catch it. That's really what I was going for with this. I thought the wallpaper was perfect for that. So I made sure to do that. Going to the right, we have kind of a combination between Franky's workshop and Usopp, the Usopp factory and the treasure room. There's Franky's Coke bottles and the stuff that he's working on for the ship and the mini Mary. And there's Usopp's little drawing plans and kits. And then in the corner, of course, is Nami's treasure. And then if we go back out and then head up to the top room, we have Dr. Chopper's little office here with the infirmary bed and the medicines and the cherry blossom plant, of course. And the little deer head at the top was purely me. I just thought it was funny to put it there, mostly because everybody always calls him a raccoon dog, and he's in fact a reindeer. Sorry for the abrupt cut that's about to happen here, but here is the bathroom. They have a very large tub usually, and Nami, of course, appreciates that. And so does Robin. Here's the little sink, and of course the little toilet area. Yep, this one was actually pretty basic as far as things on a ship go. And then upstairs, we have the library on the right here. That's Nami's little bench so she can make her maps. And lots of books, not that any of the boys probably read them. And then to the left here, we have Zoro, well, mainly Zoro's workout space with his dumbbells and the telescope for people to look out of at the top of the ship. And then if we head downstairs, we have the bedrooms. Girls on the right, boys on the left. I had a good time designing both of these spaces. I think they look pretty accurate to what was online, except the wall clock. I just thought that was a nice personal touch for Nami. But on the boys' side, they have their wanted posters and their lockers and bunk beds. I really love the way that this space came together, honestly. So yeah, that was my whole house. If we head back outside, this is the center of my island, and it's the red line, what separates the old world from the new world. But instead of just leaving it blank, I decided to put a little bit of every member of the Straw Hat crew along the way, starting from the newest here at the top all the way to the first to come in. So here's Jimbei's little section. He's obviously a fishman, and he does karate, and that's a helm there, because that's his job on the crew. And then this section is obviously for Brook. That's his little violin. He's the Soul King, and the gravestone is for his dead crew, and the whale is for Laboon, obviously. And he too is a swordsman. This section here is for Franky, the superstar there, and he's a cyborg, and that's the Franky house on the left, and obviously he fixes up the ship. This section's for Robin. Her whole thing got blown up by the Buster Call, so those are the books on fire. She does poneglyphs and that cowboy hat when she's first introduced. This is for Chopper, obviously, all the cherry blossom stuff that he liked. And unfortunately, those poisonous mushrooms that he gave the doctor. This here is Sanji's section. This is Zeph's restaurant, the Baratier, obviously. On the right is the risotto that he gave to that member of Don Krieg's crew. And this is Usopp's little section. There's the little Usopp pirates on the left. And of course, we couldn't have got the Mary without Kaya and Usopp. This is Nami's section where she draws her little maps. That's a little saw shark there on the bottom for Arlong. And of course, the orange tree and the windmill for her mom. And finally, Zoro. The gravestone is obviously for Kuina. And the rice ball that he eats in the first episode that we see him. There's another very abrupt cut here. Sorry, but now I'm dressed as Sanji and we are in Fishman Island. This is the Ryukyu Palace, and at the back is Princess Shirahoshi's room. This is all of her stuff while she's isolated. All around the palace are a bunch of fish models, and all of them are actually different if you care to run around them. We're gonna jump on by Queen Otohime's grave here, R.I.P. And that brings us to the Mermaid Cafe. The little starfish on the table on the left, that's supposed to be Papagoo. And at the back of the cafe is Madame Charlie's little divination room, complete with a crystal ball. And that about wraps up Fishman Island. I'm gonna go ahead and switch up outfits again before Sanji has another severe nosebleed. Now I'm Katakuri, which means we're going to Whole Cake Island. Here's a little chocolate-themed island, and then on the left here, a little candy one, probably for Prospero. And then if you climb up the ladder, you get to Sanji and Pudding's wedding. On the left, you have all the Vinsmokes, and then on the right, you have Big Mom with Zeus, Prometheus, and Napoleon. If you go around the back here, you have the main island of Whole Cake Island, and they're over here making the big wedding cake over here. And then if you go further back, you have Brulee's Mirror World, where Luffy and Katakuri are down there fighting. There's little Katakuri with his little donuts. And that's all for Whole Cake Island. Now if we climb down here, I have a little rock garden, I guess. Really just a little monument to show off the 4 emperors and the 7 warlords at the beginning of the series. And there's a little wanted sign there. The goal was technically to make you like part of the picture. Look, there's Kabuki blocking, but whatever, it's okay. Still cute. If we go to the right now, we come across Punk Hazard, obviously made by Akainu and Aokiji. There's a little Caesar making smile fruits for Dofi and a little smoker. And then if you go even further to the right, you come across Zoe. That's Zunisha there and Zoe on her back. Why are there 2 moons? I don't know, I just thought it looked cool. And up there are all the little minks and their poneglyph. There's Carrot on the left, and then Cat and Dog up at the top, along with the little houses. I tried to go for a little forced perspective community look there. Gonna change outfits yet again, and this time I'm gonna be Don Quixote do Flamingo, which means you can probably figure out where we're headed next. If we go back to the left here, excuse me, Kabuki, and head up here, we will reach Dressrosa. And right here, smack in the middle, is the Colosseum. There's Luffy's little disguise there to the right as Lucy the Gladiator. And to the left, we have Rebecca and her dad, who is a toy soldier for most of the arc. And there's Sabo getting Ace's Devil Fruit along with Cavendish and Bartolomeo in the Colosseum there. And then there's really just a bunch of toys scattered all around the island. There's Senor Pink with his baby attire. And then, of course, the reason there are so many toys around, here's Sugar. And then, of course, the scene where Doflamingo kills Corazon over Law and the fruit that he ate. And then this is Dofi's palace up here with his strings, of course, and the generals that he has with the card names. And, of course, Flamingo, because Luffy calls him Mingo. And then to the left here, we have the little Tontata village with their little flying bugs, led by Leo, of course, and his little sewing devil fruit powers. And I picked this fencing, by the way, because I thought it looked like the string that Doflamingo uses. So it was like around the whole thing. Anyways, yep. Gonna change outfits yet again. This time we're turning into Yamato, who is my favorite girl in the show, by the way. Sorry, Nami, Robin, and Boa lovers. And as Yamato, we're gonna go to the most recent arc of the show to come out at the time of this recording, that being Wano, specifically Onigashima. Here are all the retainers. That's Raizo there on the left, who's a ninja, then Kawamatsu, the Kappa, then Kiku, and then Denjiro with the Kozuki crest that he has tattooed on his back. Then in the middle here, we have Momonosuke, who can obviously turn into a dragon, and Kinemon, whose powers revolve around using those rocks. And then Ashura Doji eating Oden, and Masters Dogstorm and Cat Viper in Sulong form. Up the ladder, we have Queen and Sanji's fight. Sorry, you can't see the top of Queen. I didn't realize this fossil was so big. But anyway, Sanji uses the Germa suit, and his leg obviously gets on fire when he uses his powers. And to the right, we have Zoro in his matchup with King. And Zoro wins the fight, but he is obviously in very rough shape after that fight. Hence the wrapping. Back down the ladder we go, and then if we keep going further into the island, to the left we have a poneglyph, but we also have Yamato and Ace, who became friends a while ago. So cute. And then to the right here, not so cute, is Oden getting boiled in that oil. And then this is my favorite part, probably of my entire island, and this is the iconic fight between Big Mom and Kaido and Luffy, Law, Kid, Zoro, and Killer up at the top of Onigashima. I made it so you could be like part of the experience. I think this is a great picture spot, probably the best part of my entire island in my opinion. But that's just me. Let me know what you think down below. Okay, and this last little piece is technically connected to Wano, but like I needed to put it by itself. That's how great I thought it was. And that is Gear 5 Luffy. I made that design up there of him running by the moon all by myself. Took me way too long. But again, I think this is another very good photo spot. I think it looks the best at night. It's the reason why I did most of this tour when the sun was going down. I included some little fireworks and the drums of liberation, of course. And I really just thought that this was the last thing to add, and it was great for an ending. And that concludes the tour of my One Piece themed island. Hope you enjoyed watching my video. Thanks for sticking around if you made it this long. I'll leave all the links to the codes down below. I did make some for myself, but a lot of them I definitely didn't. I forgot to keep track of where I got a few of them, so I'm sorry about that. But again, what I did catch, I will leave down below. So, yeah, come check out my dream address, visit my island, and let me know what you think down below. Thank you. Bye.